USA Today has as its lead story an issue that they've been interested for a while, the Mentors program in the military, where retired senior officers are brought back as consultants. Yesterday, the Secretary of Defense announced a review of the mentoring program. This article suggests that, at least on the Senate side, Senator McCaskill is leading a Senate Oversight Committee investigation into the mentor program. I want to flip the page here so I can just give the viewers some sense of this. A USA Today review found that the Navy pays its mentors an average of $330 per hour to serve as consultants to them. The Marines, $187 per hour plus expenses. Air Force, $160 to $486 an hour to serve as mentors. But here's one other statistic. USA Today investigation published last month found that 80% of the 158 military mentors that the newspaper could identify also had ties to defense contractors.
Well, I'd say that's all relevant and all something that we should, I think, ask a lot of hard questions about and maybe discontinue the program and rebuild it completely. I don't know what the benefit is. We'd have the benefit to say, okay, is it worth all this apparent waste and overbilling? I don't know the answer to that, but one of the things that I think liberals and conservatives and independents could all get together on is inside this military budget, which is massive, the largest expenditure of the federal budget, what can we do to reduce costs and make it more effective and more efficient? And I believe, as a conservative Republican, Republicans need to measure it with the same yardstick that we apply to welfare programs and social programs that have waste that we're very concerned about. So I think it's something that Congress could actually put its best foot forward and say, let's ferret out all this stuff because the military needs stuff, but there's a lot of things that we're spending money on that we're not getting the bang for the buck.
On your subcommittee, do you believe that there would be bipartisan agreement on where to look for those areas of overspending?
I really do. We have a very good bipartisan subcommittee. You know, Jack Murtha and Bill Young get along real well. There's a lot of criticism of that committee and some of the members of the committee, but I'd say it works together fairly well. And the subcommittee just got back from a bipartisan trip to Afghanistan. Chairman Murtha took over Thanksgiving, and so I think we'd come together on that. One of the things we debate a lot are the civilian contractors, the independent contractors. There are about 250,000 in the Middle East right now, 100,000 in Iraq, and I think about 70,000 in Afghanistan. But the interesting thing is no one really knows. So when we talk about, you know, what are we spending money on, that's one of those things that we're trying to get a grip on. It's very difficult to do.
But you referenced the critiques of the committee. Chairman Murtha himself has been the subject of a number of them because of his ties to military contractors. How can the subcommittee credibly look at spending with those kinds of allocations?
You know, I don't think it has to be limited to that committee. You know, we are the spending committee, but you also have an authorizing committee that reviews the programs, and then you have a budget committee. And then the Speaker can always appoint a select committee, as the Senate must be doing with Senator McCaskill. So I think that there are some opportunities to put in third-party oversight, and, you know, let's make sure everybody comes together on it. But I will say, just because you're on the committee doesn't mean you're suspect and can't, you know, fairly look at reducing the cost of it. And there are a lot of outside groups that watch military spending. Some want to plus it up, some want to reduce it. So I think you could get the brain power out there. You just have to have the conviction. And I think you could actually do it with the White House as well.
We're talking to Congressman Jack Kingston.